Conditions. This is the recipe for cup football that the British public enjoys most of all. It's a replay with all the right ingredients too. Dario Gradi's second division promotion contenders have one of the best home records in the Football League. Relegation candidate Southampton, one of the worst away records in the Premier League. But they also have Matt Le Tissier, and he was there for them again when they needed him most with a trademark equaliser against Crewe last week. His first goal for 3 months. Interesting tonight that in the absence of the injured Barry Venison, that Richard Hall and not Le Tissier is named as the Southampton captain. Transfer listed Tommy Widrington is Venison's deputy. Crewe have to cope with 4 key injuries, including Gareth Wally, who scored their goal at the Dell. No household names there, not yet anyway. Fame tends to come the way of Crewe players after they leave. Maybe that will change tonight. Now Mark Walters. Unsworth got back there with him. Watson. Lennon for Crewe. Here goes Rivers. Good run by Mark Rivers. Taken on by Lennon. Just a little long for Collins. Unsworth committed himself. Into the path of Magilton. Well struck. But Mark Gale, the Crewe Alexandra goalkeeper, had an excellent match at the Dell. Avoid that tonight. Southampton have settled well. Walters with a low cross. Shipley is there. Wouldn't come for Le Tissier. It's gone out of play for a corner though. The Crewe goalkeeper right in front of him. Le Tissier swings it in towards Shipley, who had time to chest it down. And still, and it's in. And Neil Shipley has given Southampton the lead inside of 9 minutes. And in a crowded penalty area, he had all the time in the world to do it. Time first to chest it down, to take a touch, to have a stumble, and make the most of the ricochet to drive it into the near post, and nobody really got to him. Southampton's leading scorer goes into double figures for the season and eases their anxieties in the opening moments of the replay. Mark Walters. Le Tissier has space. Smith still trying to get back from the attack. Le Tissier came off the goalkeeper onto the bar, and Southampton have to make do with a corner kick. Dodd. Well, Hall, the centre-back, had stowed forward, but Dodd's swinging cross was too long even for him. Oof, well struck. Gale beat it up into the air, and he's been stretched on a number of occasions in the opening stages, Mark Gale. Mark Walters with a thumping shot on the run. Le Tissier. Hall's there. Not as far as Walters. Hooked on by Hall, and the goalkeeper had to be agile and brave again. Smuggled away by Smith, and that will be another corner. Hall's there, and that's 2. Clear daylight for Southampton, thanks to a captain's contribution from Richard Hall. Picked out by Matthew Le Tissier, and Hall, the biggest man in there, got the timing all right on the header. He had a couple scrambled off the line at the Dell in the first game, but he wasn't going to be denied that time. Southampton are 2 up in 20 minutes. And it Southampton really turning it on. Jason Dodd, with a peach of a third. I think he's right-footed. You wouldn't know from that, though. And Mark Gale, who has been superb in the Crewe goal, couldn't get anywhere near that. Jason Dodd's first ever FA Cup goal, and it's one you could watch over and over again. It is Dodd and not Letizia, isn't it? Yeah. Here's a chance, though, for Rivers for Crewe. Wouldn't come for Adebola. Bessenden pick it up. Thought about it. Beating Rivers. Adebola's there again. Barr. Unsworth. Oh, they just delayed the cross until Southampton could regroup and eventually snuff out any danger there was and create some of their own. Good ball from Shipley to Dodd. Here he goes again, left foot again. Come from Southampton. Young Crewe side really haven't been able to do themselves justice at all. Dario Gradi will have plenty to ponder. Mark Walters. Always swinging away from a post which Mark Gale just about had covered, but Mark Walters. Here's Rivers, plenty forward in the attack. Smith with a chance to cross, behind Adebola, cleared by Dodd. Mark Rivers again. Here's Edwards, yes! What Crewe Alexandra can do. Rob Edwards, their leading goal scorer, heads them back within view of Southampton at least. They've got much of the second half to try and find two more like that. Delivered by Rivers and finished by Rob Edwards. Now, will that change the temperature of the game? Or Wayne Collins, Sean Smith. Collins again. Now Lennon. Now Barr. Bit tentative. Westwood's won it back though. Collins tackled from behind. Watson got the ball. Lyon, says the referee. That's a good ball from Barr. If only Crewe could turn the clock back to 7:30 and start again. Bola. Nicked away from him by Moncao, who's had the better of that battle. But here's Adebola. Very, very ambitious. Both Lennon. He's got away from Moncao. Adebola! Blocked well. Might still come for Rivers. Adebola, but Richard Hall for the second time manages to launch himself at it. Rivers though. Headed from Edwards. That's not far away either. Garvey. Actually got clipped there for a moment, the winger. Didn't go down though. Unsworth. Hit the arm of Widdrington and goes for a corner. Well, they're running out of time, but they are certainly not running out of spirit, Crewe Alexandra. Up goes Westwood. Runs through to Adebola again. Barr. Oh, straight to Magilson. First time of the evening, Crewe's frustrations is that they can't make the pressure tell. Rivers maybe. Beaten away by Besson. Adebola was loitering with intent. They've got it back again with Lennon. Foul by Shipley. Still 15 minutes. Smith will take the free kick. In goes Westwood. He's gone! Ashley Westwood with 15 minutes left to play. Launched in by Smith. Westwood got up highest and it looped over Dave Besson. And unbelievably, Crewe Alexandra, 3 down in no time in this tie, are back in with a real shout. And talking of shouts, what a deafening roar greeted Westwood's goal. Mark Rivers. Well, always go across the goalkeeper, that's the golden rule there. If Besson had got a hand on it, he would have only beaten it out to the supporting players, but he didn't. And it didn't creep inside the post either. Clean tackle by Walters. Clean tackle too by Lennon. Garvey has it back. Lennon again, looking for Unsworth in the corner. Turned out of play by Mitchelson. Free throw. Barr. Collins. Barr in towards Edwards. Headed away by Hall. Lovely play by Lennon, who's been outstanding tonight. Adebola with a header! Came off the post. Unsworth with a cross. Adebola's there again. Might come for Collins. Won't quite come for him. Anxious clearance straight to Unsworth. Edwards trying to flick it on. They're all over the place, Southampton. Dealey Adebola denied by the post. Shipley. Clipped was he? No, says the referee. Well, one back by Widrington with some feeling for Letitia. Walters. Gale's still making saves. I'm a little surprised that Southampton didn't get a penalty a moment before this. Swept forward again by Smith. There's a flag up here. Southampton have a little bit more relief. Beautiful control from Letitia. Here's Walters. Letitia will have it back. Tossed in towards Widrington. They can't kill them off. Hughes charged down, looked like a hand. Crewe survived that, and on they go again. Barr it was who managed to get himself in the way, some part of him. Swept into Garvey. Crossed in towards Edwards and headed over his own barbed wire hole. Top class football from Crewe Alexandra. They've been a credit to the principles and ability of their manager in this second half, but can they save the tie? Besson can't stop it. Oh, he's headed off the line brilliantly and somehow cleared as far as Rivers with a shot. And now Garvey There's a player down inside the 6-yard box. Lennon tosses it back in there. There was a hand up. Referee has decided what? There's some concern about Simon Charlton, who is the defender, on the floor, but the referee has in fact blown the final whistle amidst the confusion, and Premier Division has triumphed over Second Division, but only just. It was Dele Adebola, the big number 9, who threw himself in there. Besson was beaten to the punch, and I think it's Simon Charlton on the post who makes the heady clearance and then hurls himself forward again and gets hurt in the process. 2 heroic clearances by him. It wasn't quite over there, because when Neil Lennon tossed it back in, Richard Hall, the Southampton defender, seemed to lead with his hand as he went for the ball against Westwood. In fact, it was Westwood's hand, it was the Crewe hand that made contact, and the referee was right. What an incredible finale. Southampton had to sweat it out to the very last moments there. Charlton seems to be okay. 3 up by half-time, in complete control at half-time. They were shaken to their soul in the second half by the heart and the talent of Crewe Alexandra, who now adjourn to the Second Division promotion race under the masterful guidance of Dario Gradi. Southampton head for the Second Division leaders Swindon Town on Saturday. They've still got a priority survival battle on their hands, but Wembley is suddenly only 3 wins away for them. If they get there, they won't forget this night in a hurry. 3-2 winners.